Hey, how you guys doing? So, big news today. Of course, the first episode for the Love Live Nijigasaki anime has aired very recently. And I, of course, just have watched it, so I'm here to talk about it with you guys. So, the goal with this kind of video, at least for right now, because it might evolve over time, especially if you guys think there's some better things I can do, I can adjust to that. But the goal is to talk about some few highlights of the episodes of the anime, what I think is going on, or what I like, or what I maybe dislike. You know, just some general ideas. I don't know if I want to call it a review or necessarily a recap, but maybe something like that, where we can go and discuss parts that we like. You know, I'll talk about big news that comes associated with the anime, because this is kind of also like a news video, because new songs are obviously important to talk about. But of course, if you're going to plan on watching the anime, probably you should watch the episode before you watch this video, unless you just want just highlights, and I guess you can go watch this. But first and foremost, a lot of you have been asking me, where can you watch it? Well, if you're not in Japan and have access to their live streams, you can watch it on Funimation. They have a site where you can go watch it, but the subscription is required. Yeah, but it is the legal source that I could find. I don't know if there's any other ones. But if you're not interested in that and don't have a Funimation account, there are other sources. If you go into some other illegal sharing anime websites, I guess you can watch them there, or if you torrent. But I wouldn't necessarily recommend that. But it's up to you how you want to go and watch it. So let's go ahead and discuss a few things about this anime. So of course, there are a lot of things we want to discuss about. So again, this is your last reminder. If you don't want to be spoiled, you probably want to leave. And of course, I will have a new poll for you guys to vote on, depending on if your opinion changed for these girls. The link in the description below. We will rank through 1 through 11 for confirmed members of the group. Yes, Shioriko has not been shown in the anime yet. Spoiler, but you know that's not going to happen. So, you know, still vote on the way you do, or I guess if you still don't know who she is, well, I guess that's too bad. But hopefully at least this will change your opinion on Nijigasaki, so that's kind of the point here. But let's see, maybe it won't change your opinions, but we won't know until you guys vote, so go ahead and vote. I will have this only up for a few days, and then I'll analyze the results. So now let's go ahead and jump into the anime itself. So right away we start off with this scene, which if you can see in the background is the Niji Bridge, which of course we saw in the Mutaki Q Believer, as well as Made Eye Harmony. So of course this is supposed to happen near the Nijigasaki High School Idol Club. You know, that's kind of partly why it's named that way. Niji is rainbow, but of course that bridge in there as well. So I think that is a proper way to start it off. And then right after that, well, we got this, which of course makes you think, whoa, that's a reference to Mutaki Q Believer, right? I don't think we're going to see it in the first episode here, but maybe we'll see it potentially in the anime. So I think that's really cool to start off. So the anime starts with these two girls walking the store looking for some things to buy, but then Yu goes outside and finds this pretty Ayumu-like dress. It's very pink and pretty cute, but Ayumu's like, no, that's not really me anymore. And we also find this bunny suit, which we know Ayumu wore the bunny suit if you think about that card. So this is just a really cute scene overall. So I think this is pretty fun and noticeable for you to mention, and we also had you kind of trying to do that. I guess she has the pigtail, so I guess that also kind of fits her as well. But they keep talking about buns, so then he said like, let's get some buns now because we're hungry. So while they're chilling and eating buns, there's someone called Setsuno who decides to come out and just look like she's ready to perform, and a bunch of these girls are like really excited. Oh my god, it's Setsuno, the god card Setsuno. And then we see this, and you know what that means. Chase is coming. Heck yes! This is what I'm hoping for, and you know, can't have Chase without the kick and all the flamethrowers just blowing off on the side, but this is also very well animated, and this inspires you, and this scene is so funny. This makes me think a lot of the Shokugeki no Soma or Food War scenes, where they kind of have a big overreaction to really illustrate how people feel. Maybe a bit over the top here, but you know, this is just really fun to see that all that flair that Setsuna has, all the explosions of fire, to really illustrate. You're like really impressed here. You know, these are the kind of moments that make you proud as a Setsuna fan, and this is definitely it. But this really inspires her a lot, and she decides, you know what, this is cool, and you know, I would say that too after seeing that as well. And then we have the next day, and I gotta say this is really nice, is that the ringtone is actually Yuma no Ippo, which is Ayumu's first solo song, as a ringtone. That is a really nice touch, and I really do appreciate that. We also get to see a little bit of their dorms from the inside and kind of the outside, how it's separated. You'd see this a lot in Japan, how they have the dividers on the balcony, so they live right next to each other. And we get to see a look at school. Yep, it's really big, and there's that emblem that was voted on and created by us viewers, so that's in there as well. So the two girls decide, oh, that was really cool and all, well, at least Yoon for this case, and then it's like, let's go look for the school out club, and they find Rina here, and she doesn't have her board on, which is kind of interesting, but when they talk to her, Rina doesn't even respond. She just stares at him with a blank face. I guess she needs a board to really cover that. But then we get Ai for the first time here, who talks to them, and then she'll show where to go, since Rina wasn't capable of simple discussion. But this is very interesting, because it definitely gives you the feeling of who Rina is. And they eventually find it, and then they meet Nana. Who could that possibly? I don't know, but she's a student council president, and she decides to disband the club literally right in front of them, which of course makes them a little disheartened, and they're like, well, what can we do now? And that's kind of be the major plot point here. We'll get a little look at all the other girls as well. We get Shizuku, who's now no longer an idol, because a lot of these girls are already currently idols. We have the girl who sleeps all the time, Kanata, and like, oh, I should, never mind, that's not a thing anymore, so she'll go back to sleep. And then we have Kano, who's doing a part-time job as modeling, but she's also kind of being an idol. And there's also Emma, they're chilling right here. And then we have Kasumi, who is pretty pissed, and we'll see more about that in the next episode. But at the end, Ayumu decides, you know what, I want to be a school idol. She's watching videos, and she was really inspired. She really likes them, and she wants to have you help support her in this endeavor. And Ayumu wants to be that cute and pretty. She likes the pink clothes, and she doesn't want to give that away. So she follows that by deciding to sing a new song, or her solo song, I guess her fourth one here, and it looks pretty nice. And a bit after that, with the affirmation of you and Ayumu deciding to go for starting a school idol club, we get the ending song, Neo Sky Neo Map. So this song, of course, is pretty good, and of course, it's going to be paired with another song, but overall, it's a pretty nice one, although I guess I'm slightly disappointed in the fact that it's only just moving pictures, which is a little cheap way to get out of a lot of endings, especially this is not true just for Love Live in general, but a lot of anime tend to try to cheapen out a bit in terms of animation by only using images. It's still nice, but it would be cool if we had a little bit more, but overall, I'm still pretty happy with all the things we got so far. Just as you guys saw, that was the ending for the anime. Of course, this is likely going to be the ending theme for the rest of the anime, as that's very typical of Love Live to do, but maybe that'll change. But for right now, we have no clue. And of course, it's very usual for the first episode to not have the anime opening, but just the ending, and that's what we got here. So of course that is going to be a part of a single as usual. There will be a single for opening and ending. It will be paired with another song. So the first song of course was Neo Sky Neo Map, which is the ending. But the second song here we have is Zensoku Dorīmā. So that song is the name of the song, and if you go to the official channel you can get a little preview of that song. That will be included in that, and that will be on sale for November 4th. So let's go ahead and get a preview of that song. So we're getting two pretty nice songs here, and of course that's already on top of Ayumu's solo song that was also part of this anime. So we're going to get a lot of nice songs, and of course next week where we get the second episode, we should see what the opening of the group is, I'm assuming, as well as probably a preview of the second song included a part of that, which is going to be releasing before this album. So, or should I say single. So obviously we got a lot of nice songs coming here, and there are a lot more to come. So I'm really excited to see that. And then after the ending theme for Nijigasaki, we got a little preview of the next episode, which is usual, and looks like this one's gonna be focused on Kasumi. And I think you might be able to guess why I think that. So the question is, are we gonna see Muteki Q Believer? Especially because literally the beginning kind of teased that almost. Maybe, but we'll have to see. Maybe they have a completely new song, which will be also very acceptable to see, but we'll have to see what that includes. But I'm expecting at least the opening theme to probably show. So overall, I am pretty happy with what I got to see. They did Chase again, which I kind of almost expected, but again I didn't, and I think it was a great way to change it up how they dealt with it, and we got to see a lot of View, which I was really hoping to see. So we got a little bit more of her. So I'm curious to see how it goes, and we did get to see every girl just for a little bit, which of course I expect that to happen, but of course the focus was on Yumu and Yu, and we got to see a little bit more of the development, and I'm almost certain at this point that they're not going to close down the school, but you never know, maybe they will. But it's a massive school, and in fact this is modeled after the Tokyo Big Sight, which is kind of a convention center, so it's really big, so I'm really hoping that's not the case, and they have so many clubs. But overall, the biggest thing for me is, like, this has a different feel than the other Love Lives. And depending on you, that might be a good or bad thing, but this kind of feels like refreshing almost. That I feel like I'm almost not watching a Love Live anime, and I'm watching kind of more of a slice of life, relaxed kind of anime. And that is kind of a bit of my style, but I don't know, it just feels different, which is kind of nice. And of course it looks very different than the standard kind of Love Live style that they've been establishing, especially in the games, which it still is a bit off for me. But I mean, I can't really complain, especially the fact that we got also Ayumu's new solo, which was definitely a genuinely nice surprise to have that. I'm excited to see what other solos. I think there should at least be 2. At least that album that's a part of has 3, so we have to see how that goes and what other special albums that they haven't revealed yet are coming out. We just got a lot of songs. We got to see a little bit of the girls. Kind of interesting to see that Rina didn't have her board in front of her right now, but maybe that's the thing that she'll put on later, which will kind of show that she needs that to be able to express emotions. Maybe that's her solution that we'll figure out later. But interesting to say the least overall, as well as we got to see a little bit of Nana, and we know that Kasumi is going to try to do something as well. And we got to see how Ayumu got interested in it, and it wasn't really dependent on previous idols, but rather it was dependent on Setsuna. So they're not going to be clinging too much to the previous iterations of Love Live, which I think it is a good thing to do, is to distinguish themselves and not be too reliant on Aqua or Muse to have any kind of notoriety here. Of course, we got a lot of songs to come up in the future, but overall the songs we got right now are pretty good. They haven't blown me away, and you know, we already know Chase, so that's not exactly changed my opinion. But overall, I gotta say I'm pretty happy, but I'm curious to see what you guys feel about the first episode so far, if you know you have watched it and whatnot. What do you think about it so far? What do you think about the girls and the way that the story is developing right now? Also, how do you guys feel about Yu so far? We got to see a little bit more of her, and there was a lot of nice scenes that we got to see with her and Ayumu, which I think is pretty cool. Do you think Yu is going to be interested in actually becoming a school idol herself? Is she going to sing some songs? Maybe, possibly, maybe not. She definitely looks very interested in becoming an idol for sure. And, you know, Ayumu kind of started and took the initiative. So, we'll have to see if she's able to inspire or encourage her to do that. So, we have to see how that evolves as well. But at least right now, I want to know what you guys feel about her in general. Do you have a better opinion of her now that at least you get to see her rather than just mostly her looks from before. And also, what do you think is going to happen in the next episode? Of course, it's probably going to be Kasumi-centric, so we'll have to see if she's going to have a new solo song, or at least have Muteki Q, so then she doesn't have even more than all the other girls to make it really unfair. But let me know what you think is going to happen in the next episode. What do you think about the school itself? Do you think it looks really nice and whatnot? Do you think the art style is going to work so far? Yes or no? And what do you think about the new songs? Let me know what you guys think in general in the comments below. What do you think is going to happen next episode? And, etc. and etc. What is your hopes and what do you think is going to happen? And what is your overall opinions on the girls so far and how the anime is doing so far? Anyways, let me know all that in the comments below, and of course, vote on these girls to see if your opinion's changed. There hasn't a whole lot changed, of course, especially because we got mostly Ayumu, but I'm curious to see if at least your opinion on you changed. We'll have to see about Chihiriko later, but anyways, make sure you guys watch episode 2 when that comes out. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope to catch you guys in another video soon.